In game, and we're set. Alright, welcome back everybody. This is the Premier League Season 3 Meet Your Makers versus Scorne. Now this is game 2 in a best of 3 series. Meet Your Makers are currently up 1-0, and as you can see, tiny little ban pictures there. It's a bug from the latest build, I guess. Now Wisp has been the first ban again. Meet Your Makers knocking him out once again. I believe they're a little bit worried about Scorne putting him to work. Scorne once again also banning Chen straight up, so there you go. Very similar bans out of the gate for both teams. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to go for the hard carry situation again. Of course, we saw the two hard carries, but at the same time, both of them gone into the fray quite early on. Now, Void did move about quite a bit trying to gank, particularly he was going after Anti-Mage a little bit with his ultimate. Didn't really work out in the end, and there were a few missteps and mistakes made there, and it didn't really work out. As I said, that ultimate of Voids is a bit of a double-edged sword, and in the end we didn't even really see the true double-edged nature of it against Darkseer coming out, but they've allowed the Darkseer to slip through again. I really feel like this is an interesting choice by Scorne, just because Darkseer is ridiculously strong. Even after his 6.75 nerfs, he is still a great top, pretty much, especially since Copter kicking the balls, he is probably the most powerful pick currently, I think. I'm pretty sure he's the most banned hero regardless. But Scorne have led him through twice in a row here. Oh dear, so they've got the double pick now. What are they going to go with? They might want to pick up some nasty big AoEs here, like grab, say, the Ravage, the Black Hole stuff, like even Disruptors, even grabbing up Disruptor as well, stuff like that. Because big AoEs plus Darkseer cause a lot of trouble. And they will go for the Rubik first up. I suppose this gives them the opportunity to try and basically jack that vacuum and try and counter-attack, but at the same time, we'll see what they go for next. I think they really do want to, at the very least, try and get their hands on something like a Ravage. Otherwise, things could get very, very messy. I think they do definitely need something to counter-initiate with in case Darkseer gets the jump. And then, of course, Darkseer is a hero that still benefits quite a lot from the Blink Dagger build. In fact, I haven't seen a Blink Dagger on a Darkseer in quite some time. When I say quite some time, I mean whenever in the rare moment that he managed to slip through and get picked. He was really underrated for a while. We saw him getting picked for about a couple of weeks straight, and then everybody remembered, hang on, wait a minute, that guy is actually really bad news. We should ban him quite frequently, if not, say, you know, all the time. And it's going to be the Enigma getting picked up second by Scorne. And this is, again, like I said, any of those big AoEs, they do need to just at the very least take some of them off the board. Now, of course, Enigma very strong. They're keeping them off Meet Your Makers this time. We saw it was not a nice thing to get hit by a vacuum and then a black hole to follow up. Now the double pick for Meet Your Makers. Now they've got plenty of AoE on there. Now you might say, why would you pick Titan to go with Darkseer? It doesn't exactly synergize in terms of Vacuum and Ravage, because Ravage has got such a big range. But you've got to remember, the other big thing, it's not just Vacuum, it's Surge. Surge is ridiculously good. Allows him to get into position, doesn't need to worry about blinking or force-starving, just gets him into position. And on top of that, Ion Shell. Now if you're playing the farming Tide Hunter, who gets quite fat and quite difficult to kill and stands up in the front of the lines, having an Ion Shell on him is just almost like having a short-range free Radiance, or 2 free Radiances sitting on your hero. It is very powerful indeed. And there we go, 2 big AoE heroes picked up, Invoker and Disruptor. Now Invoker is probably, in this case, I think going to go for the Quace build, just because EMP and Tornado plus a Vacuum can cause all sorts of trouble. And Disruptor is also a great choice as well. Pick him up with Tornado and then stick down a kinetic field in front of them, and of course a Storm Cloud. Lots and lots of annoying spells that can combine nicely. Now Scorne, they have got a few choices left. They want the Titan Hunter, is still there, and often we see Titan and Enigma get picked together just because they are very, very strong picks. And basically it's kind of hard to miss. It's very hard to miss a black hole when you've got a Ravage to set up, but they decided to go with the Bounty Hunter instead, so they secure their Suicide Laner. I assume he's going to be the Suicide Laner. I very rarely see him in other roles. This Bounty Hunter says to me gank-oriented lineup, just because the other heroes don't really scream the same thing out. Rubik is, you know, an all-rounder hero, can do a lot of things. Enigma tends to push more and be more teamfight oriented, but Bounty Hunter doesn't really look for huge team fights. He looks for ganks, like goes for 3v1, 3v2, that sort of stuff. Doesn't really look for the big team fights because he doesn't offer a lot in the big team fights, especially in the early phase. He's got a nice little bit of burst, but overall doesn't really have that much ability to influence the fight. Now, Enchantress are next, banned by Scorne. Now, that makes perfect sense because they've already banned off the Chen, and they fulfill very similar roles. We've also got the Juggernaut banned as well. Apparently, it's a bit of a respect ban against Scorne. They do pop it out every now and then. I guess they've been watching one too many Navi videos.
Radiant team ban.
The fourth ban, though, Meteor Makers have decided to get rid of Tiny. Tiny could have slotted in there, and that would have made a lot of sense. Tiny plus Bounty Hunter means lots of nasty ganks, plus a faster Blink Dagger for Tiny. I like the fact that Nagasaran has been completely ignored. I think Nagasaran wouldn't be a terrible choice against Meteor Makers just because it would help. Just because her ultimate could help counter-initiate against him, not so much set, or even just try and set up a beginning of a black hole. Because right now, the vacuum and the spell, the three heroes there are very teamfight oriented. The Vacuum, the Quacewex, the Disruptor, very, very teamfight oriented. And Nagasaran definitely benefits from those big teamfights that she can set up. And they've already got the setup available if they want to. Lauren drew the next ban though. It looks like Scorne aren't worried about the pushes. All the heroes they have banned so far are heroes that can influence and push before the 20-minute mark. So it's a bit of a trending theme there. Now Mitch Makes it said, you know what, let's get rid of another teamfight hero. Let's get rid of the Brewmaster. Brewmaster's a solid pick. Don't really see him banned all that frequently, but he's still definitely a very strong pick. We're seeing exactly how powerful he can be just because he picks on those key heroes and removes them, just keeps them out of a fight.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm going to go into overtime once again for Scorne. And they decide to ban off the Venomancer last. And again, that says to me, we want to gank and gank and gank. Now, Venomancer, of course, is a very annoying hero to gank against just because he has wards all around the place, just spawning up behind him, always checking his 6. So it's very hard to close in on him or a team that is trying to push with him in tow. Similar rule goes for the Beastmaster. If you're trying to gank a lot as well, Beastmaster can be quite frustrating because of the Hawk.
10 seconds remaining.
But as it is, they may actually even pick up... the Beastmaster right now would even fit up into Scorne's lineup if they wanted to. He could take the Suicide role quite... Or even the Solar Mid. He does do a Solar Mid role fairly decently as well.
Reserve time.
They could quite easily slot him in indeed. Or just throw him into a Suicide role if they really wanted to. Meteor Makers though, time for their fourth pick. Right now they could probably use another type of support hero. Darkseer is likely to be Suicide, he won't be able to do that much support. Disruptor likely to be the primary support at the moment. They could definitely use another one as well. And definitely a teamfight oriented one would not hurt. Anything with some nice big AoE. And I keep bringing up Tidehunter again, he's still available if they want to support with him. They could also just go for just some general nukage. Of course, we've seen Lich actually pop up a few times in recent memory. Even though he hasn't been that popular as of late, he's still definitely on the board. Who else we've got? Chris Main, also very, very viable. And that's mostly the list. Shadow Demon, when he first popped into the captain's pool mix, he was extremely popular. A lot of people were picking up left, right, and center. But as it is, because teams have gone away from these super hard late game carries, that he just hasn't been as useful because he's definitely a very single target oriented hero. He finds a hero and then he helps the team pick on them and beat the stuffing out of them. And as it's turned out, a lot of teams have gone towards more teamfight based lineups and not worrying too much about those hard carries, or they push early where it's not as efficient. So he's not been as effective. That said, in this case, this is a perfect example where he would be great. Dragon Knight, of course, is a huge, tanky, nasty character that's very difficult to bring down, but you throw a Soul Catcher on him and suddenly he becomes so much easier to get rid of.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I'm looking at that lineup now. They've got some decent push. Dragon Knight, of course, is one of the two. He can hit his stride do some decent damage at the 25-minute mark to 30-minute mark. And at the same time, he's also really decent in the early team fights because his stun is ridiculously long. He has a decent range on it because of his ult now. And of course, Flaming Breath is rather nasty. And he can push early on to boot. Now, Shadow Shaman's been picked up. Shadow Shaman likely to be this... Oh, in this case, depends where he goes. Lycan, though, a final pick by Meteor Makers. Now, here is a hero that's gone from hero to zero with the 6.75 patch. So many teams just completely overlooking. Now, the question is, will I try and jungle him? Of course, is Wolves copping a severe nerf for jungling, or will they try and lane him? They're going to lane him. I don't quite know how they're going to do it. Invoker is likely to be mid in this case. Darkseer, but it's Suicide solo. I think he's going to have to jungle. He doesn't have much options there. He's probably going to have to jungle and focus on pushing. Doombringer, though. Oh, wow. Okay, here is another hero that I have not seen. In fact, the last time I saw a Doom, it was Complexity playing him with Jo. This is definitely very different indeed. Right, that I just checked there wasn't a remake or something, but no, this is indeed the correct lineup. Alright then, so guys, a few different heroes here. We'll see how this one goes down, but let me call out the players here. So playing for Scorne, we've got Mini on the Shadow Shah, Wagamama playing Doombringer, Pinoy playing the Bounty Hunter, Riesen playing the Rubik, and Fishbone playing Enigma. For Meet Your Makers on the Dire side, we have Calculus playing Invoker, Balsam playing the Dragonite, Link on the Darkseer, Quicks on Lycan, and the I hate how these names are too long. Let me go and find it. The Nino playing Disruptor there. Apparently, that is alright. Typing into all chats. I'm wondering what the hell's going on there. GLFH. Why not? Bounty Hunter opening up with a poor man shield. I believe he's been pulled some items. As Balsam would like a shout out to Druin, whoever the hell that is. Doom pick, definitely interesting. Now, it's going to help shut down a few heroes. In fact, you throw Doom down on a hero like Invoker, it can really just take him out of the fight. At the same time, though, I'm not 100% sold on it. I'm really not 100% sold on Doombringer. He farms like an absolute boss, especially since the 6.75 changes. He's really difficult to slow down. As Link would like a shout out to Link Dota, that is of course himself, I believe. Always looking to self-promote. But this is suddenly, this lineup suddenly went from teamfight oriented. Meet Your Maker suddenly went from teamfight oriented to push oriented. Now I'm just wondering if they will go, you know what, Invoker, you are going to do an exhort Quaze build instead and go for the pushing Forge Elementals instead. That's definitely a possibility, because if you take Howl with that can be quite nasty indeed. We'll find out what he goes for. Ooh, okay, that's a stuff of nightmares. We won't look in Invoker's face anymore. Wagamama, though, with the Doom, he's actually saving a bit of money there. I wonder what he's going to... See what he goes for first. Might be saving up for Basilius. Or... No, if he's going for Basilius, he would have started with the ring. Not dead sure what he's going to go with that money. Could be an early bottle, potentially, if we see a lot. Could be just planning to shuttle the bottle back and forth. That's definitely possible. Link again going for the early Soul Ring. Some pretty stock standard stuff there as well. As Brown would like to shout out grrr, because he can. Disruptor starting off with naked but for wards.
30 seconds.
That is definitely a ballsy start. Very few times you'll see people start with nothing but wards. Generally there's a potion or a set of tangos or something, but no. Just straight up wards, and I think it's because it's gone to Lycan. He's pulled him... Somebody's pulled him some tangos. Dragon Knight seems to have bought his own items. Anybody else leeching off?
The battle
and there we go. Looks like the rune is going to spawn. It is top. It is a double damage rune. Bounty Hunter going to pick that up. Not really going to have huge impact on the early game there. Rubik will be taking the solo mid in this case. Rubik, though, is ecoing for sure. He's definitely ecoing. He's going for that early bottle. This should be interesting lane for them in mid. He's not really going to be able to... Normally when Rubik gets his bottle, he can start harassing and spamming with Feybolt quite a bit. In this case, it's not really going to do a whole lot. Invoker with his Quace will just heal up most of the harassment. He does not have the burst necessary to deal with that. And Doom is looking for a 30-second creep. It looks like Doom will actually be jungling. Okay, of course Doom can jungle much easier now thanks to the changes. He has found himself a troll. This is quite fortunate because he used those skeletons to tank for him. And it's going to be Rasta actually been getting farm. looks like he'll still be playing a semi-support role, but at the same time he's actually going to be getting money, so it means he can get those early game items up if he wants to. Unfortunately, Pinoy is sitting right next to a counter ward here. He says, "Get the hell back, Nino. I'm going to beat you up." I'm going to chase Nino back under the tower. Best form of defense. Best form of defense, a good offense. Malcolm has opened up with a stun, doesn't have the regen yet. And we see that the harassment recently coming out second best here. Darkseid pausing already. Okay then. Doom has already chewed through a large portion of his mana, just spamming the revive skeletons. He's going to have a quick pause again. Neno. I think he means Neno, okay. I apologize then, the Neno. I think that's how he wants me to pronounce it. I've been called out mid-stream by the players saying, Oi, you idiots. Pronounce my name correctly or say nothing at all. Be silent. Doom already ate Invoker's face. I know, right? Disrupted now. He's about to... Well, no, Bounty Hunter is on the run here. I think he's just... He was chasing Nano around. Nano, I think, is actually looking out for some revenge. I think he might also be getting ready to harass the Lycan there. Lycan again. These wolves of his now are not so fantastic. I think I'm pretty sure they had their health more than halved. It's just quite a brutal nerf. So far, Doom, of course, farming well because, yeah, you know what? Both teams, junglers everywhere. I actually have not clocked how fast Doom currently is with his new incarnation in terms of farming. It'll be interesting to see if he can actually out-farm Fishbone here. Because Enigma is considered to be one of the fastest and the best junglers. Doom may be close on par, although he won't be able to... Unless he gets really good creeps, say these skeletons, for example, he can't really keep the same pace. Alright, there we go. Ready to unpause. Invoker's face is still gone. In fact, if we zoom in, it's still gone as well. Doom has indeed eaten his face. Okay, so what we're waiting for is someone from MYM Makers has had an issue with their mic and they can't get on TeamSpeak. And apparently Neno's net is so bad that if he gets on Skype, his PC will lag. Okay. Excuse me. Darkseid current, how much is he sitting? Darkseid hasn't actually... Wait a minute. No? Okay, I was about to say, did he accidentally skill stats? Darkseid actually hasn't skilled a spell. I think he was a little bit worried. He wasn't sure where Doom was. He saw, okay, there's one guy in the lane. I'm not sure where they are. He wants to skill Iron Shell, but he knows if he skills Iron Shell straight away before he figures out where his opponent is and what he's doing, whether or not he's trying to gank him. There we go. He just skills Iron Shell now. He's going to pick it up. But I've seen this happen before. Darkseid will go to the lane, skill Iron Shell first, do some farming, and not realize there's like 3 people behind him getting ready to gank him, and he'll get taken out straight away. And then they'll just camp up here and prevent him from coming near the creep wave. It's very frustrating for us. We can't get that second level, and then obviously can't actually get his hands on Iron Shell. I can't get his hands on Surge, so it becomes very, very frustrating for him. This is what I mean. See, he's been camped now. He's chased all the way back. He does find himself a haste rune, though. Small bit of luck there. Pinoy decided his lane is so unproductive, he's actually going to go and try and farm Lycan Wolves. Shaman doing the best he can to chase him off. No more Dragon Knight should be getting pretty much free farm here. It looks like Doom has decided he's going to farm the lane instead. This is what I mean about the whole Iron Shell thing. Even when you're a melee hero, even if you come into CS, you just get harassed by that, even if you're not really even focusing on the creep. Link now getting chased back. Once again. Bounty Hunter hasn't really started abusing the hell out of his Windwalk yet. He's been chasing the Disruptor around a little bit too much, to be honest. He now should have his bottle done and dusted. Yes, he does. Just needs to send it back out. Invoker will be doing Quace Wax indeed. He's going for that team fight with the Vacuum as well. Bounty Hunter looking to possibly jack creep and just wants to be that guy. There we go. He's going to turn it around. It is going to pull the wave anyway. He's trying to prevent that from happening. Just spamming that Bay Bolt. It's always done for Nebu so he can start farming a little bit quicker. Shadow Shaman now is rotated to pulling while Doom holds this off. When I say holds this off, I mean farm. Because that's what Doom does best. Used to be he was a really good chain nuker, but after they nerfed his ult so much, Bounty Hunter now quite happy to steal that neutral creep there. Lycan is sitting here, but he's not going to be able to achieve a whole lot at all. He's just sitting there because he's a little bit worried he'll get jumped while he's trying to farm. In fact, he's letting his wolf try to do it remotely. You know, that was actually a pull. What am I saying? Alright. Pulls with the wolf, succeeds. Nice pull there. And then he's just going to use that to jack experience from that. Meanwhile, duel in mid. Reason looks fairly vulnerable. If Calculus went on him with a Cold Snap and a Tornado, that could be pretty painful. In fact, Rishon would probably die in that case. Although he does have a regen bottled up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's
The
top
Dragon
tower
Knight going
is
to take
under
point there.
attack.
Just going to harass the Bounty Hunter a little bit. Not really ready to push in. They're a little worried about overextending there. But the Dire Tower at the bottom goes down. As it looks like Doom still with the net. Still with the Troll Warlord skill. An early tower down. This is one of the things you can have Enigma do, or the Channel of the Chance. So basically they come out, take advantage of a weak lane, jump out there and just have minions help spam down the tower. Meanwhile, there is a bit of a correction on top lane as well. Similar push happening here. They just don't have the same speed. Just because they don't partially have the same number of members working down there, but also just the fact that neither can really harass the towers that much, particularly before level 6. And Doom opening up with an early Midas, so he is going full on farming machine here. Guessing we'll have a little bit of a long game out of him.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Bounty Hunter is looking for trouble in the form. Oh, they've spotted him there. Can they actually clean anything up here? I think he's hoping someone can show up. He almost attacked the... Actually, I think he was trying to jack the creep more than anything else there. He's constantly changing his mind whether or not he wants to kill this guy. Decides to start fighting him now, but Invoker has engaged yellow. Looks like Rubik bottles invisibility room.
Dire's middle tower
And chases after him. Still not sure whether or not he should steal back to farming. He's a little bit worried there. He's with the Cold Snap. It's gone down. Is it going to be enough there? They get the stuns down there, but he's going to Ghost Walk away, and they don't have the level 6 per track. Invoker managed to slip away by the skin of his teeth.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Ring of Regen. Looks like Doom is going to pick up a Hood of Defiance fairly shortly, would be my
Radiant's
assumption
top
there.
tower is
Unless
under
he's
attack.
trying to do... No, I don't think he'd do... He'd do Tranquil Burst, we'll see. Dragon Knight's going to bring down that tower. Bounty Hunter, be careful. Not would have seen that go down. And he's going to ping it. He knows it's there. Let's check the GPMs at the moment. Now, this is just a good example of how far Doom is ahead. Of course, he's got got a tower at the moment, and also, of course, he's got a Midas as well as his own Devour Creep. He's getting quite ridiculously fat. He has not even bothered with any in Scorcher, not even one as an insurance policy. Just going to harass that tower there with that poison. Meanwhile, the mid tower going to be harassed down. They're just lacking mana at the moment. Shadow Shaman has not had a good run in mid. Has not had a particularly quick run down bottom. 16 and 5. He did transition over to the spot roll very early on again. They are just going to try and sneak in a deny here with Darkseid. I don't know if it's. I really don't think it's going to happen though. Link will just need to let that fall. He does let it go, and he will back off there. Meanwhile, though, Quicks is being left to free farm too much to his heart's content. Has gone for an early Medallion of Courage. Once he gets Vlad's, he could quite easily go and try and do Roshan. Which means Scorne will need to keep an eye on that. But he's a fair distance off at the moment. Actually, not that much. He does have the Basilius done already. As Rubik walks into 2 heroes, they just cleaned up nice and easy. Disruptor, still only level 5. Nicky Moses just got pummeled there by a Cold Snap more than anything else. He had Cold Snap and Tornado. A Hero Hex up top. Can they get the Dragon Knight? And there turns around, goes for the stun. Glimpse is going to send his ally back. The Thunder there on Shadow Shaman. The wards look like they were not particularly well placed there. And Cannonbow can get a Tornado down. No, it goes for the Bounty Hunter. Needs some more attacks here. Not going to happen though. Bounty Hunter will escape. Rubik now back to the top lane. Lion King asks, question today, has Lycan been stacking? He's pulling, not stacking at the moment. I think if he stacked at this point in time, he'd be unable to actually see how weak his wolves are. They're level 3 wolves, and they're kind of getting manhandled there by the easy camp. In fact, so is Lycan a little bit. A lot. They're just a lot weaker as Rubik gets a kill up top. They pick off the Invoker, who just got way too close. The track is up now for Bounty Hunter. Now he can start causing trouble. Almost picked up his drums. He's going to become extremely annoying. If they can get those track ganks off, his team will skyrocket out of control with gold.
No.
And Doom keeping up an impressive gold per minute. 400 as well. 400 as well for the Enigma. But that is just a ridiculous GPM. He's not really ganking at all. In fact, they've tried to gank him, but it just backfired horribly so far. Dragon Knight now is possibly about to get in a bit of trouble. Hit by track. He's got 2 things. He probably knows it's on there. He can, well, either he doesn't know it's on there, or he knows it's on there. He can do 2 things. 1, he can back off and not farm. 2, he can push forward and try and farm and hope there's nobody there to gank him. Now, right now, he does not have a lot of good vision, so he's definitely vulnerable if he decides to push forward. But he's decided to push forward, so he's just hoping that Doom isn't there, Enigma isn't there to gank him, that sort of stuff, because they can see him. That is, of course, assuming that he's noticed his track, but generally speaking, I assume they would, being pro players and all. Rubik's, though, still carrying the Cold Snap right now. Oops. Well, now coming back to mid lane, going to help defend. It's really necessary at the moment. Invoker should have it in anyway. And there we go, Darkseid doing a bit of stacking. Probably try and clean those up in a short while. I think he's going to try and give him to Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight will pick up his level 2 ult if he wants to go and do that, because it's a cleared value. It's one of the things you don't see Dragon Knight do very often is get his red level dragon early on. If his supports are actually stacking a ton and he wants to do the Ancients early on, that is actually definitely a viable option, just because the cleave, the splash helps him get through the health pools much, much faster. I think Dragon Knight knows something suspicious. In fact, there we go, Rubik's actually shown himself there. He didn't know something suspicious before, now he's definitely wary. In fact, he's got friends coming up to help him now in case there is somebody trying to gank him. Lycan almost got the Basilius right now. It looks like a possible gank up top. The track goes down. Nope, just going to slide him up. And there we go, telekinesis up the cold stab as well. Outside Balsam, great ward trap there. Incoming counter gank though. Flame Breath now, Invoker comes in. They've got the Thunderstorm down. Here comes EMP, going to set up with a Tornado. EMP lands on Mini. Mini's out of mana there. So is Regen now as well. Great EMP. Going to set that up. Disruptor is dead as well. Doom now on top of Invoker. There is the telekinesis. Again, throws down another Fade Bolt. The Doom. Actually, no. Actually, he's managed to steal. He's a tiny wolf now. Going to give chase. Changed his mind. Backs up.
Middle tower is under attack.
As it looks like an intercept there from Nick that throws down the stun. It is going to manage to clean him up. Going to go up to Lycan now. Black holes Lycan. Do we have a follow-up? Yes, we do. It is going to be Rubik with a stolen wolf form. And that is just a little bit rude.
Dire's top tower is under
Rubik
attack.
stealing 2 nasty spells at Cold Snap and then the wolf form as well, allowing him to get into position to help clean him up. In all honesty though, I'm pretty sure Nimik probably could have finished him up anyway without any extra help. Because right now, yeah, there we go. Lycan doesn't even have any boots, so Enigma could have actually run him down after his Lycan form wore off. And Doom did actually go for boots, Tranquil Boots there. I think this might just because he gets really speedy with the right build. In fact, he's gone for an... I don't know about this. This is actually not... Well, for pushing, for the pack leaves or for pushing is okay, especially if you're going to bring a whole bunch of minions as well. But I'm not 100% sold on an early game if they're not pushing all that hard, because they haven't really been pushing. Actually, yeah, they have a bit. I take that back. They have been pushing a little bit, but it hasn't been balls to the wall pushing. It's just sort of been moments of opportunity, because of course the laning phase for miniature makers in this match hasn't been the strongest. Flame Breath there, just cleaning that up. Bounty Hunter, I believe, looks like he's trying to pick up an Oblivion Star. See where he goes with that. Shadow Shaman now has picked up the End of Shadows. Also got a smoke ready in case they want to gank, if they want to try and gank somebody. It looks like Roshan is going to get cleaned up here by Lycan. The pings are coming out. I think they're going to check, but Lycan should finish this in time. Yes, he will finish up the Roshan attempt. Pops his ult now, flees for his life. Should be able to escape successfully. Nobody close enough to take him out. That's saying go and check the Ancients. Oh wow, okay. They must have spotted a nice big stack there. It was Darkseer stacking that earlier, and I believe he's leaving it there for Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight though needs a couple more levels before he can take that out. And here we go. A Radiance is done and dusted just before the 15 minutes, and I'm looking in the chat. I noticed somebody called it 15-minute Radiance. He was 5 seconds too late. It was 14 minutes and 55 seconds. And this is what happens when you have nearly 600 gold per minute at the moment. This is probably the most telling thing right now. It's just Doom is farming so stupid fast. This is because this lineup is not very gank happy at all. It cannot really do a lot to contest him in the jungle. You've got Lycan who's busy farming. Darkseer needs levels and won't really gank him all that well by himself. Then you've got, of course, Dragon Knight again farming for levels. Invoker is busy with mid, can't really get in and put a lot of pressure in there. So pretty much you're down to Disruptor. And that's about it. Disruptor can't really do a whole lot by himself either, so there's not a lot they can do to mess with the Jungle Doom. Not to mention Jungle Doom also had backup now. Rubik getting pulled back a little bit, and then just immediately force-staffing away. Nobody close enough to follow up on that with a stun. He's now currently a 12k gold lead. And a 5,000 experience lead to the Radiant. It's actually I've got to say, this is the first time this early in the game I've seen the gold graph outstrip the experience graph by so much. And it just comes down to this Doom's stupidly big farm. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, so how is the Shadow Shaman doing? It looks like he's building the Tinned Mech. DK, looks like DK is going straight for a BKB with the Ogre Club. Other things. What is meant like? You know, as he managed to steal, he's picked himself up a cold snap. It looks like they're going to try and jump Rubik. There's the glimpse, sending him back. 4 staffs away, gets hit by the tornado. Anyway, at least he gets away from the EMP. Cleaned up though by a stun from Dragon Knight. And now Shadow Shaman on the run. Do we have another 4 staff to send Dragon Knight for? If Dragon Knight gets 4, they can take him out. Dragon Knight actually, well, you know what? I was about to say he needs a 4 star, but you know what they can do? You know what Raja can do? He can just walk back into suicide, because that also works nicely. The other option, of course, would be to actually surge somebody. But as it is, they decided not to.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Dragon Knight's finally picked up his GPM a little bit, moving into third place there.
Middle tower has fallen.
And Wagamama still farming like a boss. Another 2,000 gold in the bank. Now he's getting ranged, he's going to farm even faster. And again, nobody's interrupting. I don't think they've realized exactly how fast he's farming it. He's going to come out with like 60 items at about 30 minutes in. Like he's going to come out maxed at 30 minutes in, and this is like, what the hell? How? So Bounty Hunter has indeed picked up his Oblivion Staff. Might actually be going for an Orchid here. Silence, of course, always useful to pick off somebody in the back lines. Somebody must have walked past that. Looks like Dragonite is indeed vulnerable to telekinesis. There's a crit as well from Shinana. The stomp comes down. Look at Rubik though, losing health rapidly. 4 stars back into the enemy's clutch, so vacuumed in. He's likely to get taken. He goes down there, Iron Shell as well. And Dragonite going to get away here. Oh, not, because Glimpse is going to send Doom back. Doom must be frustrated. They get sent all the way back to all the way back home. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. He's up to another 3,000 gold though. It's ridiculous. I mean, it doesn't even matter that Rubik died. I don't think he's even going to make a dent. Another track goes down as well. Need with the BKB as well. It's probably going to hunt down a Blink in a second on top of that. Comes to counter attack. Can we make something happen? Dragon Knight now going to try and use his speed to chase him down. Has got no invis detection though, so it's not going to work. Not a lot Dragon Knight can do to farm at the moment. It's deficit. He wants to move up and farm this crit, but he knows he could be ganked at any moment because they don't have sufficient ward coverage.
Invisibility.
The Galem's being used to pull region back. Region, they're not being pulled back nearly far enough. It's only a low level. Yeah, it's not that good. Just he wasn't moving quickly enough to really make use of that. I'm not sure what Pinoy's up to. Okay, it just looks like he's stacking because of it.
Double damage.
Doom now busy picking himself up an Assault Curious as well, because why not? So you see Darkseid already finished off his mech, just looking through the items as well. Bring up the item tab here. Anybody finish up anything else amazing? Dragon Knight still working towards his Black King bar. It looks like Calculus is getting closer to a 4-star as well, because that'll give him some nice mobility. Will also hopefully allow him just to get somebody out, or just help him kite a little bit, especially against the Doom. Doom, of course, is very quick, but if he's going for this whole carry crit build and stuff, again, as with any melee hero, he does suffer with the whole getting kited issue, so 4 stars are very important to help him out. They're liking now Poppy, his ultimate will just flee, spotting trouble, runs for his life here. It looks like he'll get away, and it looks like Bounty Hunter is indeed going for an Orchid, working on his second Oblivion Staff right now. Has almost got it done, just needs... He's only about 1,500 gold away from finishing that Orchid, and that will definitely, the damage amplification will definitely help him deal with Dragon Knight. As it looks like Vacuum will cancel that port there. Doom now throwing down the Doom there on Link. Link now in some serious trouble. Here comes the Tornado EMP. The DOT's there. Wagamama just standing his ground and fighting. Unable to get away there. Decides, you know, I'll try and take a few people with me. Takes down Link. And if he'd managed to pop, I think if he'd managed to pop Scorched Earth before, he probably would have lived through it. Ward's thrown down the top lane. Easy tower kill there.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
It's a Fishbone though. No. Spent cash on something else again. Just looking for it. Okay, he's picking up, I'm pretty sure that's his gem there. He's already got a BKB, he doesn't really need the Ogre Club, so I'm going to assume he bought that gem. That's going to give him some good map control now. Here we go. They're going to looks like they're going to share this just a little bit. Of course, Lycan. I think Dragonite could definitely use this more. terms of experience, just because he's only level 12 and definitely falling a bit behind. You're liking level 14 at the moment. Not that far ahead of the supports at all. Suicide Soloists.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Uh-oh, Rishon possibly about to regret this, about to be left all on his own. No, just going to walk past the room spot. Nobody going to go after him. I think they decided, you know what, it could be a trap. Don't really want to risk it. And right now, if they make any serious mistakes, it could quite be the end of a tower in the base. Now, I talked about different builds on Dragonite before. Some people go straight for the whole Helmet Dominator arm.